Okay. All right. Hello, everybody, and happy Easter. Um, so I forgot my TV on in the background. It's just baseball game on. Okay, so in this video, I'm just gonna go over real quick. Probably most of you guys seen already by now on social media. The OBJ is going to Baltimore, the Ravens, on a 1-year deal. Signed a 1-year deal, $18 million contract. So I think it's a big deal for Raven fans out there, and I think Jet fans, because the Jets were supposed to meet with him tomorrow. Sorry if I'm moving around a lot. But yeah, so just in this video, we're gonna break down the draft prospects too, because we have the draft coming up now in less than 2.5 weeks. I did a little bit of video scouting today on some of the rookies I want. So, okay. So, anyways, I think the draft this year is going to be exciting. As always, it's always exciting every year. But this draft is unique. It's got a lot of stories in mind of, we have trades talking like the Jets and Packers. We have the 49ers in talks. We have maybe the Colts trade up to get I don't know. If they trade up, they don't move up to like number 2. This draft it's got 4 quarterbacks, but they got a 5th one because they got the University of Tennessee kid. I suck at saying his first name, but I know his last name's Hooker. That kid's he's like a 25-year-old from University of Tennessee. And so there's talk of him going into the draft. So maybe some team out there will probably pick him up. I know for a fact that the Packers are in talk of a quarterback, so we could pick up a quarterback in the 3rd round. I would rather pick up the kid from Stanford University and bring him on as a backup, because we need a backup since Jordan Love is the starter. Also, so my predictions for the prospects is I think each team knows what they're picking. So everybody knows like the whole Jalen Carter situation. Besides the car crash, and he killed 2 people in Georgia, the reckless driving, the racing, and all. I think the top 10 teams that interviewed him, because he already came out with his agent last week stating he was not going to visit with any of the other teams that were not in the top 10. So, of course, being one of the biggest teams that he's talked to the most was the Chicago Bears. The Bears are highly interested in Jalen Carter. So Jalen Carter himself, he could end up in that position with Chicago. There is Detroit. There is the Philadelphia Eagles. There's the Seattle Seahawks, and the Seahawks are most likely going to draft him because William Anderson Jr. is most likely and highly most likely going to the Arizona Cardinals at number 3. Unless something crazy happens. I mean, the draft, anything can happen in the draft. But we all know he's going to be a 3rd pick. CJ Stroud's the 1st pick. Bryce Young's going to be the 2nd pick to the Texans. Excuse me. And then we have the 4th pick with the Colts. And now everybody's saying it's either going to be Will Levis or Anthony Richardson. Yeah, Anthony Richardson, the kid from Florida, the quarterback. There's a lot of prospects going on for that one. I'd say another prospect is tight end Michael Mayer from Notre Dame. He's going to be projected to go in the rounds between 15 to 20, maybe 20, 25. I mean, you guys can let me know down in the comments what you guys think and where Michael Mayer may go. But he's projected to go to Green Bay for sure at 15. There was a lot of mock drafts out there that put him at 15, which makes sense because it is a much more of like a blanket for Jordan Love, because that eases up Jordan Love feeling pressure and all, and you know the kid just needs somebody to throw that ball to, like kind of get comfortable. We all know the Watson Love connection. We all know that from last year, but that was only like what, like a few snaps he played. But yeah, I think Michael Mayer's another prospect people have talked about. The kid from Utah. Uh, I'm gonna suck at this last name, but he's one of the biggest tight end names in the draft. It starts with a K, but anyways, that's another prospect that a lot of people are saying he might definitely be a Packer at number 15. Um, so there's that one. Nolan Smith. I really like that name. That's one of my favorite picks. I really want to see go to the Packers, but they got a lot of him going to Philadelphia at number 10. So that would be a phenomenal pick because you're playing with Nakobe Dean, you're playing with Jordan Davis, the former Bulldogs over there. So that Philly defense is going to be a monster train wreck. Well, not train wreck, but they're just going to be a monster dominant team up front. Um, but yeah, that would be a great ad for the Eagles. I would say Paris Jones. I've heard lots of talks about Paris Jones and watched his highlights. I think he would be a really good offensive line asset for the Packers if we were to draft a lineman. Um, Not that we don't have a lineman. We have an okay offensive line. I mean, really, we have Brian Bulaga, or no, not Brian Bulaga. David Bakhtiari back. We have David Bakhtiari, and he's under contract situation kind of because he signed a deal like last month. Um, and then yeah, so the line itself is all right. Uh, but I mean I would be upset with the pick or anything. I mean, but I would love to see something really good that Green Bay needs to get. Um, Michael Murphy out of Clemson is another big name I've heard. Um, that one I really can see go to the Packers. I definitely will probably most likely hear that name. Um, just because he's a he's a definite need in the edge, and Packers are in need of an edge. We're definitely in need of a safety, so I think the most one I really want is either Devin Witherspoon or um, Gonzalez of Oregon. Sorry, uh, but yeah, I would love to see one of the two top cornerbacks or safeties somehow land to the Packers and it's still on the draft board. So that would be phenomenal. But I did do this. So I watched a unique highlight. There's a kid out of Illinois. I think it's University of Illinois. Um, yeah, I think the kid's from Illinois, but his name is Sidney Brown, and nobody's talking about him. And he's a kid that plays safety, but he has that playmaking style where you can put him all over the field, kind of. So like he's one of those picks that people are like, well, why is he not being brought up? Why is he not in like the top 10 prospects in the cornerback class? Because everybody says this year's draft is full of cornerbacks and we have tight ends. So the biggest story is your tight ends and cornerbacks. Um, but yeah, I think Sidney Brown would be a good pick for the Packers to go in maybe a second round or third round on day two. Um, so that was another one I was trying to maybe scout a little bit. Um, then yeah, I just as far as what I know of, I know that this draft is gonna be full of surprises though, because there's I feel like there's gonna be some kind of teams that when they see the um well, last year was all about the wide receivers, so we all saw what happened with last year's draft because that was one of the craziest first nights in draft history that we all witnessed. Was the three teams that traded up when we got to pick number 10 was the Saints, the Lions, Philadelphia, and then we had AJ Brown go to the Eagles. You had Hollywood Brown go to um, the Cardinals. Yeah, you had Hollywood Brown go to Cardinals from the Ravens. Um, so I mean, yeah, we that was a wild draft night last year. So if they see like maybe cornerbacks going off the board or maybe some wide receivers, because don't get me wrong, the draft does have a few wide receivers. Packers are predicted to get either Jordan Addison from USC, Quinn Johnson from TCU, um, Jackson. Oh gosh, Jackson is. I'm gonna suck at saying this. It's the kid from Ohio State. It's number 9. It's Jackson and Smith. Just comment down below if you guys know the name. I suck at saying it. It's gonna take me a while to know the name, but there's that wide receiver. He's really good. Um, but yeah, yeah. If they see maybe stuff like that, and the team's in big need of a wide receiver, and they're watching the draft board and they're watching the players kind of go, there could be some trade ups. They're really good. Um, but yeah, we'll kind of see what happens. But yeah. So as far as that, that's kind of my draft prospects for the 2023. But if I have more, I'll let you guys know in another blog. But the next blog will most likely be a draft. We'll start the mock draft on PFF Football Simulator. Um, and I am gonna need you guys to just comment down below and um, teach me how to put the share screen on, so that way when I do the draft online, I can have you guys with me on the screen, and you guys can go from there and kind of watch what I'm picking, and then you'll be able to point out which kind of players maybe would make sense in the comments, or um, maybe explain why that pick makes sense, But yeah, you guys know what I mean. But anyways, I just wanted to kind of make this quick video. Um, and just talk real briefly about the OBJ news and the 2023 draft prospects. Kind of what can we look forward to and what to expect. So yeah, there's some good stuff to come in the coming weekend. Maybe I'm probably gonna put out a video next weekend because this week I've got my normal work schedule. So yeah, the next video probably will not be on until next weekend at the most, and that's when I'm gonna go over the mock draft. But yeah, if you guys can just kind of help me out a little bit with that, that would be much appreciated, and just figuring out how to put the share screen camera on. That would be appreciative. All right, well, that's gonna do for today. Um, as much as always, this is Cheesehead Productions, and I absolutely would love for you guys to give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below on what you guys think of the OBJ trade. Does this actually a good question too? Does this make Lamar Jackson stay in Baltimore? Is he still gonna go to the Colts? Because there's talks of him going to the Colts. But yeah, if there's thoughts on that, you guys can share them in the comments. Also, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. That would be very much appreciative for sure. But yeah, just comment down below, like and subscribe, hit that bell if you guys want to see more content. And yeah, as always, Go Pack Go. All right.